forest has been built though, which is lovely. And we can choose to plant trees and bush tool and plant some pines. All right, everybody. Hello and welcome back to another episode on Timberborn with me, Spacefish, and welcome back to our beautiful little teeny tiny beaver settlement. After quite a while, we're back. We're right back to the task of expanding our little village and carrying pretty much straight on with getting the basics set up. As you can see, last episode, we were quite busy getting the farm underway, getting a few water tanks and a few water pumps underway, and just getting overall some basics ready. But now, today, it is going to be our task to actually go and get further along. First and foremost, we've got this task of actually getting the water wheel ready, which we will then require in order to actually be able to make ourselves some planks in the near future. And then secondly, we do finally have the amount of research needed to go and get a forester for ourselves. And that, as you can see right here, is quite important indeed, because we are running out of trees insanely quickly. So that is going to be the first order of business today, and then we'll just move along from there, getting the basic missions down there completed, of course, and just overall doing our best to hopefully get ourselves nice and prepared for the first drought. I don't think we've had any yet, so yes, that's the task. That's the plan right there. And then also, well, maybe we have to see. We kind of want to stay, of course, also on top of the whole occupancy part of things. Currently, we still have 4 free beds, but that is eventually going to change, so we do want to stay on top. That said, where are we at with the forester? This one here, that is what we want. Let's go ahead and unlock that for 60 science points, and then we shall go and set one up. The question being sort of where we want to do that. I kind of want the maximum coverage for our cause. So I'm thinking something a little like that should do the trick. Well, the question being, I mean, the fields we're kind of expanding back here, and if we need to down there, so I think that's fine. So I would use this as woodland for farming, and that is woodland for farming, and this part up here maybe for expanding our city eventually, if we and when we can actually build our way up there. So I would just pay some attention to covering however much woodland we can here. I think that's pretty good. Oh, okay. Depending on which way we turn the thing, changes also the coverage area. So let's do that. I think I'm rather happy with that. And we're going to go and put this straight to high priority. Actually, this is an issue. I had no idea. We do apparently need planks for the forester, which is something I had very much not checked out before. So in fact, we can probably put it to low priority, because currently we cannot make planks anyways. And we got to get the construction side to high. The issue being, this thing here, we need 50 logs for it. Well, we have 21 currently. So, you know, kind of tight, kind of short on logs. Also, this lumberjack has very well done his job, but he's out of logs to harvest at this point in time. So what we sort of need to do... Oh, in fact... Yeah, what we need to do is we need to actually go and lower the priority on that one, so that we get a... Oh. Well, actually, that doesn't make sense, because that lumberjack flag is only in range of these things, while this lumberjack is actually in range of everything. So we're going to go and also set up a new lumberjack flag up here. In fact, the question is going to be whether we want to even set up 2. I think 1 is fine for the time being. Then we're going to assign 1 person over from here, because I mean that just doesn't make much sense, right? I'm going to go and prioritize that to the top as well. Just slightly lower the prioritization on that one, because of course we do want to make sure that we've got enough lumberjacks working away at things. The second point then is that it would make sense to also expand to the other side of the river, but I'm not sure we can do that just yet. I think we would require something like that, which also requires planks, unfortunately. So, truth be told, we really can't make that work for ourselves at the moment. And then also, of course, we can't have the topic that's basically, bottom line, we would also probably want to set up a dam somewhere to retain some of that water over the course of droughts. I think that would be in here. And we could set that up, but we don't have enough wood for it at the moment. So that is maybe then a task for the near future when we do actually have enough trees knocked down in the forest to set up. That we maybe somewhere down here set up a dam. I hope that it doesn't slow down water flow much over here then at the end of the day. But retaining that water, of course, all the way up into here would mean that in the case of a drought, those farms would actually keep some water on them for a longer amount of time, which first and foremost is lovely, of course. And secondly, would also mean that we can pump water for a longer amount of time. So, very nice. Even better would be to have it back here, to be honest, because then we could even keep this land over here green. And then just have a bridge right there instead to get over to this part of land and have, you know, maybe a bit more tree farming going on this side, maybe some farming going on over here. Something along the lines of that. We shall find out. Now, currently, we've got 3 vacancies, which is... Back we are. Sorry for the little interruption. Just had a little package from Amazon for the new capture card. Which is going to be subject of a... Channel News episode coming to you very soon, but nevertheless, getting back to the actual topic, well, we shall find out what we do right here. Overall, I think for now the topic is going to be actually moving along. As I said, we have 3 vacancies overall, which, I mean, one of them makes sense. To be honest, I am even considering to just tear down that lumberjack flag entirely, because from a coverage, well, I mean, I would... I mean, on the other hand side, you have to say, it's kind of nice to maybe be... It would be kind of nice to maybe just tear that tree down, just to have one extra little tree that we can harvest. So maybe we'll assign someone over eventually, but I think once those trees are gone, we don't really require that lumberjack flag anymore, because I don't think we're going to be growing any trees here for the foreseeable future. In fact, it's going to be more of an area of expansion for any farming efforts. So, yeah, quite sure that one's going to be going. I do wonder what the other 2 vacancies are, though, to be honest. I mean, we do have some research going on right there, which is all good and lovely. Where else do we have vacancies, though? Oh, and one of the water pumps. Okay, but that's fine, because, I mean, our water tanks are pretty full, so I think this one was just a backup, really. What is the 3rd vacancy, though? Oh, right, it's just another lumberjack flag. Which, to be honest, this lumberjack flag, I am actually quite positive we can just tear down, so let's go ahead and do that, which, in fact, gets us another 2 logs, so that's lovely. I mean, we can very well use those, as is apparent. Over here, we are at 40 out of 50, so that's good. We're getting there with these things. And then hopefully we can actually get those blueberry bushes demolished soon, because, of course, we do kind of require some space in order to be able to make those planks. Actually, though, can we... Yeah, okay, so we do have a lumber mill already, which is lovely. I was a little bit worried there for a second whether we actually do have... Uh-oh. I think we actually need to tear down a few. Demolish buildings and resources. Mark resources for demolition. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, I mean, we unfortunately need to clear out a little bit of space here to make things work. What I have to say, though, is we don't really have any blueberry bushes that we can gather on at the moment with this one anyway. So I would say just deprioritize that workplace, you know, let that regrow, and once those bushes are regrown, we can just put a person back on the job. Because currently, there's nothing coming off of those, hey? And it's 12 days for them to regrow. And especially, unfortunately, I mean, with me tearing down a few of those bushes, it's not really like we're going to get more coming in at a faster pace, right? Now, the water wheel is working away. 206, 200, 190, 180. Why is the power output going down so drastically now? Okay, maybe it's just kind of balancing itself out. But we've got some decent power output, so that's lovely. We will require a lumber mill, though. And I suppose until those resources are actually torn down, there's nothing I can do about building it. But now that we're done with building things, it seems that our beavers are actually getting onto that task. So that is lovely. I'm also tending to say, while we still construct some of these things, that we may also want to go for another water tank. I am not sure where the actual tanks were at, though. I guess it's in storage. Indeed is. In fact, I would even do like a medium tank or something if and when we get the research, but not quite sure that is the way to go. Also, underground pile. Intriguing, intriguing. We do have a large pile right there at the moment, and to be honest, it's super empty, so totally fine for me. Also, I did miss a single bush here. That one we can maybe even leave, because I don't think we're planning to build anything back there. And I mean, the more bushes we have in the end, the better, I would say. We're going to start with the lumber mill all the way up there. Reason being that, of course, you know, we have these axles that kind of go all the way through. And I think we can interconnect anything that power with those axles. So I guess the plan is any power-hungry buildings that we have will just line up in a line. And then we hopefully can interconnect them with those axles. Also, actually, water mill task is done. Now we have the task of the lumber mill. So that's even better timing, because evidently either way we we will need that momentarily. So there we go, lovely stuff. And I'll just already extend that path down a little bit, because I have a feeling that we will need that eventually. Then we need to go to power, though, because of course we will require some power shafts, and actually may need to wait for the water mill. No, we don't need the water mill, the lumber mill to be completed. We don't, though. Because there was already the little indicator of where things need to be connected in, so that's all good, that's all lovely. We can very well make that work already, and then we do need that one berry bush to be gone eventually. Unfortunately, though, with me starting to build things a little bit early, they are again prioritizing the building over the destruction. Actually, it seems that you can prioritize on demolition, which I had no idea was a thing. We'll just prioritize that one bush and connect things through, and then we should be good to go. And the idea basically is, now we have this long shaft. Eventually, if and when we need other buildings, we'll just demolish a few of those shafts in the middle, kind of connect extra buildings up, and then hopefully we can use the same power source for multiple buildings. That's the plan at the moment. Hopefully that works out that way. Now, this one currently doesn't have anything connected to it, which is fair and fine. But once there is power, it should be good to go to get to work. Interesting one being, I think we have a little bit of a rise in the beaver population. Maybe not. We still only have 3 vacancies, supposedly, despite the extra building. So I'm intrigued by that. Oh, and you don't have anything to work on now. Yeah, so last tree there is torn down. I think this one will live to grow up. So once that's grown up, we'll just temporarily sign someone over again. But in the meanwhile, that's that. And he's got a broken tooth. Oh no, broken tooth beaver. Cutting chance minus 75%. Poor little lad. I'm not sure what to do about that. That's actually a new mechanic that we don't know yet whatsoever, I think. I guess there may be some sort of hospital system or something, but surely we don't have that yet. This is actually interesting. Rooftop terrace. A teeth grindstone. Used to sharpen broken teeth. Basic needs, broken teeth, visitors 1. Okay. So I guess we just set that up somewhere and they can go and use it. And in fact, it's actually requiring very little in terms of space. So we'll just set that down right there. And then hopefully I'll take care of the broken tooth. Gotta just grind it a little bit, you know? Sharpen it and all. Ah, good stuff. Okay, that's cool. That's lovely. Nevertheless, we should make sure that that is actually prioritized over the grindstone. But there we go. The lumber mill is powered, and we should soon have our first planks coming in, which is great because, well, we need it. We need it urgently, and we want the forester to be built now, so please start working away at that. And yes, indeed, 31% already. It seems like we are in a way at actually creating some planks, which is good stuff indeed. Otherwise, where are we at? We've got 150 research points, so maybe we can consider also using those for some things. But maybe before we do anything, let's go continue down here. Okay, next task is being the forester. So, I mean, the forester we are setting up. That's fine for me, and we will get there eventually. I would honestly like to set up a bridge while we're waiting, and I believe we should have the points to know. Oh, yes, we do have the points to research them. A 2x1 and a 1x1 suspension bridge. Oh, that's the length of the bridge, isn't it? Well, we will need quite the long bridge to actually get over that gap, don't we? I mean, a 1x1 bridge could still be cool, because we would be able to actually harvest blueberries up there. So, I'm considering to still research that for the extra food, but currently I won't say we're not in that crazy of a need of food, so maybe not that urgently. But what I would then do is, well, I mean, let's maybe just fast forward for now. I don't want to spend the research points yet because, well, we don't really know what comes after the forester, right? So it could very well be that there's something very specific which we need the research points for, and then we've spent them already. On the other hand side, I mean, we don't really want to spend all the wood on building a dam now as much as I would like to start setting one up down here. In fact, we can't because we cannot reach that spot yet. But so, you know, we don't really have that many logs, and we don't have anything new planted. Also, there's a drought approaching, which is something worth considering, especially since our water tank is not entirely full. Okay, so I think I know now what to prioritize. What we'll do, what we will actually spend some research points on, is researching a medium tank. We did need planks. Oh, man. Okay, and that's a waste of points, because we don't have the gears yet. I don't even know where I would make those. Over here. Okay. There's a gear workshop. We very much will need that, and it needs 120 horsepower, so great. We do have 4 horsepower too little from that one water wheel, which is just perfect, of course. We'll have to see how we can make both of those work on one water wheel. Hopefully we can make it work somehow still. But with that said then, I mean, what I would do anyways is just spam a few more of the small tanks for the time being, and then eventually we'll just upgrade to medium ones, and I would also go and man one of these things and probably just unman that lumberjack flag for the meanwhile, because having 2 lumberjacks with the few trees that we have remaining currently, I think is more than enough either way. And then we can at least get those water tanks filled up quickly before the droughts. And over here, I think growing is still the priority, which should be the way to go. Let me double check. Indeed, it is. So planting is prioritized, because these carrots, once they're actually grown, even if they're lacking water, they can sustain themselves for a little bit. These just die if there's a drought. So, you know, that's kind of just the way it is. So we will keep planting prioritized until the drought, and then we'll just harvest whatever we can. Forester's been built though, which is lovely, and we can choose the plant trees and bush tool and plant some pines. Similarly to crops, trees need to be watered in order to grow. Remember to mark cutting. Yes, so actually wondering whether they will be able to survive a drought. But we're meant to plant pine trees, 20 of them. So let's go and do that, I suppose. Mark like a little bit of an area for pine trees here. And then I would say we actually also spam a bunch of birch trees over here. Bunch more pines like down here. And we may even consider stuff like maples or oaks. Takes a while longer, of course, but you know, we also have a nice little bit of output from them. And then overall, I mean, overall it seems like pines are kind of more the way to go than birch trees, right? Because the birch trees are faster, but they only give you 1 log. While the pine trees take 3 days more, but at double the output. So only 33% more growth time for double the output. So these things here are good for the intermediate because they grow quickly, and we will quickly have more wood. But afterwards, it seems like we kind of want pine trees. In fact, the most efficient in terms of time for wood retrieved is definitely the oak. So I would say we make a little mix of oak trees and pine trees for the future. So let's go and plant down some more oak trees up here. Some more pine trees right there. Oh, no, not there. I'm not sure, like, I think we need some space for, you know, being able to move through. And in fact, let me maybe just go and create a path here. Because as we said, we may want to kind of be able to go up here eventually too. So I kind of want to have that covered. And in fact, I will even make this here a path. That's a bit much, actually. How do I demolish a path again? Can I just plant over it, maybe? Nope. I would like to remove a path, please. How does that work now? Ah, okay. So it's a building, basically. But yeah, so I mean, I just want to be close to this because as we saw, the different bridge types take different amounts of research points. And the bridge that only goes 1 block far, basically, is the cheapest. So if we have a little bit of a connection here, that's perfect. We don't need many research points to get over there. I mean, eventually we will want another bridge type. But that will be a very long one. To actually get ourselves across the river, I would say like somewhere down here-ish, maybe. But, oh, that's a task for now. For now, that is the way we approach it. And I think that's a bunch of trees already planted. We do have more space available, though, technically. So I will pretty much actually fill most of this up then. And, I think that with that, we are good to go. And that is actually the tutorial done. Okay, lovely. Our settlement is now self-sufficient as long as the water keeps flowing. Yes, and now we kind of want a dam, but we don't have any wood to speak of. Bit of an issue. I mean, admittedly, I threw a bunch of the wood at the tanks. Well, also we need to select goods. Yes, good point. We do have different things now, such as also maple syrup. So, you know, not sure what that's supposed to be then, because I guess it's not going to be food. It seems more like medicine, which I had not had a clue as a thing. But I mean, there's a bunch of things that we didn't know were a thing yet. So, I mean, let's find out. Let's figure it out together over time. For now, I think totally fine like that. Now, aside that, I think we can just keep things rolling very quickly here. I mean, we really mostly want those tanks finished and as much water as possible put into them, so we kind of just can prepare for the droughts and have enough drinks. I mean, food, as you can see up here, I don't think it's going to be really any kind of issue, so that should be fine. Maybe we'll want to actually assign someone to the gatherer's flag in time to gather those blueberries before they then kind of dry out. But that is something we can take care of when it comes to that. Or in fact, that is something I think we can take care of now, because to be fair, all these guys don't have a thing to do. So we'll just deprioritize that gatherers, well, the lumberjack flag, and prioritize the gatherer's flag so we can go and start bringing those blueberries in. That way we don't have that much time pressure and can just have everything in there as quickly as possible. And otherwise, you know, the forester's working away nicely, which is lovely. I mean, I should probably keep that prioritized so he never actually leaves by accident. And we always keep those trees regrowing. And well, evidently going to take him a little bit of time to reforest that all, but I think that's fine. The trees then also will need a very, very long while to regrow, and once those trees then have regrown, the lumberjacks will anyways come in very quickly to fell them, and he can quickly just take care of setting. I think that is good. And in fact, I think we're even a little bit blocked on the foresting, no, on the lumberjack side of things now, because there's just no more trees for us to harvest. There's nothing remaining. I mean, there's these old tree stumps up here that are all dried out, but we don't even have a way of getting up there yet. And we just don't have any wood left, so I mean, I'm not even sure we can finish the construction of this small tank, basically. So it's kind of just what it is. I feel like this is pretty much what we're left with here, except for the fact, and that's actually a very important point, that we are running out of beds. So we will have homeless beavers soon if we're not able to do anything about that. And in order to be able to do anything about that, we will need more wood. And in order to get more wood, we will actually need to surpass that drought, because it is coming very, very soon now. And evidently, I think the trees are not going to be growing during the drought. So that is going to be a bit of concern. But I would say, everyone, with the drought coming, with the rivers surely starting to dry out soon. That looks nasty. The river's surely starting to dry out soon, wherever all the water is actually coming from. I don't know. But with that soon happening, and us now trying to actually survive the drought, and hopefully everything working out well for us, I would say for today we'll end this one off right here. In the next one, we will come back. We will work on surviving the drought. Firstly, you know, bringing all the harvest in, making sure that everything's fine on the side of water, and just taking care of the basics. Really making sure everyone's fine. And then once the drought has passed, we will make sure that all those trees are going in the ground as quickly as possible, so that we can hopefully soon harvest some more wood again, and actually continue expanding, continue getting new houses for our beavers, new workplaces, and create a prospering beaver society. For today, though, I would say this has been it. I hope you all very much enjoyed this episode. Of course, if you did, please make sure to go ahead and smash that like button right down below for the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new around here and haven't done so just yet, also please consider subscribing right down below, as well as hitting that bell icon in order to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. With all that stuff out of the way though, as usual everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I will catch you in the next episode very, very soon. Ciao.